Hey guys, it's Wes from JW Sports and Apparel. We have a signing going on here, and they're not going to be here much longer, but you guys love part one. You're going to love the one we just done. Well, I've talked them into doing part two. So this is going to be exciting. I can't wait because part two, they usually just really start thinking and get some good ones. Drew Butler, hang on, give you a mic where you can be clear.
Cool. Awesome. What's up, everybody? First things first, buy a copy of my buddy Candler's book here, From Underdog to Bulldog, Amazon bestseller list. Fantastic and inspirational. Got a pretty good story here. 2009 is the year. It was Brandon's freshman year. First game of the year, we lost to Oklahoma State in Stillwater. So week one at home, week two at home, we were playing South Carolina. Always a huge game. First SEC opener. And we used to go to Lake Lanier Resort for the Friday night to kind of get away from everybody and have meetings. And Coach Rick would kind of do his general speech. Anybody would tell you Coach Rick's pregame night speech, it wasn't too much about motivation. It was more so just kind of getting your mind focused. Then the coaches would leave and go recruit. And Coach T would stay back for the inspirational speech. All of us here know Coach T, Joe Tereshinski, Georgia legend. So his thought process with the speech was when you get knocked down, you got to get back up. Doesn't matter how hard you get hit. We had obviously lost week one to Oklahoma State. So he's talking about when you get hit, you have to get back up. And he asked Rennie Curran, who's been here at J&W Sports and Apparel multiple times, to come up and stand up with Coach T. So Coach T says, doesn't matter how hard you get knocked in the face, you got to get back up. Rennie Curran smacked me in the face right now. And we're all sitting there like, come on, this can't be real. And Rennie's like laughing. And Coach T's like, hit me in the face. Rennie's huge. You know, Rennie's got a hand that feels like a brick probably. So he kind of like smacks Coach T. And Coach T said, I told you to hit me in the effing face. And Rennie looks at him and goes, whop, and knocked his ass out straight into the projector. Coach T on the ground, out. The entire team was dying laughing. I don't know if it did much for motivation, but Coach T got knocked out. He stood back up. He was like, I still got up. We're going to get back up tomorrow. And funny enough, Rennie had to play the game that game where he tapped down Steven Garcia pass over the middle, and we ended up winning. So Rennie Curran knocked out a coach on a Friday night game speech. That's just the kind of guy he is. So.
Yeah, the whole team dug deep in that one. That was a good game. Mine it was 2010, and we had, probably once a year we had a compliance speech. And so they came to talk to the team, and it's very different atmosphere from what NIL is today. And so they were telling everyone, if you sell a jersey of yours, which AJ Green had done that year, that's a 4-game suspension. And the NCAA had some kind of questionable rules. Like some guys would get in far worse trouble than that. You'd miss 1 game. But if you sell anything, you take any kind of benefit, it's 4 games. So use the example, like if you're a starting quarterback and you get offered a free haircut or a free burrito at Bar Burritos, that is a 4-game suspension. And the girl telling us this is this like cute 22-year-old just graduated. And she finally goes, all right, have I made myself clear? Are there any questions from anyone? And one of the guys raises his hand. He goes, well, what if a girl only wants to sleep with you because you're on the football team? How does that work?
Yeah. What was the answer?
She just laughed, and I think she left the room after that. Actually, I think the speech was done.
My story is from 2010. I think I was coming off a concussion 2 weeks prior. End up being in practice, had a black jersey on me. I can't be touched. And I was playing offense. End up doing a reverse, going toward the sideline. And I know y'all know Ogletree, number 9. End up me and him getting hit 20 yards to the sideline. Thinking I had another concussion. End up doing a concussion test. And one of the tests was count backwards from 100 by 7. I told him I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that without having a concussion. So I told him, yeah, I got concussion. Like, I can't do that without having a concussion. But that was like one of the funniest things, though. I can't do that. It's good, sober.
Digging deep.
Digging deep. I got one T story. Like T didn't just start that stuff with you guys. He actually tried something like that with us about how tough you were supposed to be. And it was were we hungry before the game? And everybody's T's asking guys on the team, are you hungry? Are you hungry? And guys like, yeah, T, are you really hungry though? And T's trying to get everybody hyped up, and we're in the theater room, which is in the old Bushmere building. So you walk down that first hall, it's the big room on the right. And the doors to the left went to the training facility. So we're in there, and T's getting everybody, trying to get everybody hyped with this "Are you hungry?" speech. And T pulls out a cup, and in the cup, it looks like, it's like a little bowl. It looks like it's dirt in there or whatever. T reaches down in the bowl and grabs out a big fat like earthworm or whatever. Yeah, you guys got to be hungry. And T throws the worm in his mouth.
Oh, God.
T chomps the worm up, and I'm talking about before he could get it down, T gets ready to throw up.
He went down.
He's trying to make a point, but he threw the worm up and had to rush out. He had to rush out of the meeting room to throw the worm up that he was supposed to be so hungry for. So shout out to Joe T. I never got that football film. You told me you were going to send me anyway, Joe T. Yeah, thanks, Joe T. Now we got to. You guys getting calls from this film guy about paying for your college film?
No.
Oh man! So
Who called you about that?
it's some other outside company. So I asked T for years about some of my games, match my stuff on reel to reel or something like that. But
Y'all done?
T's like, "Can you get it set up?"
Well, guys, you got to hear them. Them are really good stories, and I love this. And I want to give a shout out to Thomas Flowers. Thomas, I know you watch these things on YouTube. Thank you for starting this thing. I know you said it was my idea, but you're the one that brought it up about the stories. I love story time and JW Sports and Apparel, and we're just so happy these guys have come out. It's 3:28. Y'all need to get here. If you ain't been here, I know they think everybody has been here, but y'all need to get out here and get some autographs before these guys leave. Because the last time I said the other video, I don't know if they ever going to come back. Once we get them, I don't ever see them again. So come back today. It's 3:28 on and Danny's not here, a minute ahead. But anyway, come on out and get you some autographs. These guys, thank y'all. Drew Butler, Chandler Cook, Benny Smith.
Is that it?
We're just whatever y'all want to do.
We got one more.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Hey, we'll keep it going. Here we go.
I just thought about that. So my junior year, I had an opportunity to leave early and go to the NFL. I decided to stay. And the year before, I got hurt in the Tech game. 2 years before, I got hurt in the Tech game. I had a bad rib contusion. Well, I actually have a detached rib from Marco Coleman. And couldn't practice for the bowl game. I think it was the Independence Bowl that year. I couldn't practice for the bowl. No, came back for my senior year. And I was injured. I didn't make the conditioning test. And back then it was 4 or 550s, which I've never been a runner. And it's never been my thing. The weightlifting and running has never been my thing. I was just good at football. So I did make the 550 test. And if you didn't make it, you had to do, what do you call it, Breakfast Club. So Breakfast Club was like at 6. And it was during 2-a-days. So you had Breakfast Club, and this was to get in shape for 2-a-days. I had been there all summer working out. I just couldn't run 550s. And I made 3 of them and missed the 4th. And that was the bad thing about it. I had never made it, like any of the years I was there. 4 years, I never made the conditioning test. Didn't make it this time. So Mike Dillon was the trainer back then. And we ran four 400s before the first practice. And then we had the second practice. So it's 3 practices. So this morning, my back was locking up on me. I was having really bad back spasms. I said, Mike, man, I really can't make it today. Dylan, I had been this maybe like the next to last day of Breakfast Club, and Dylan, who's always a hard ass about stuff like this, was like, no, I get it. He was like, you can't make it today. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm a first round pick and I'm staying here. They're making me do this, which is cool, but I can't make it today. And Dylan says, okay, so you're not going to have to run today. I said, cool. Coach McDuffie hadn't made it to practice yet. So Coach McDuffie shows up. He looks out on the track. He's like, he comes back in the bus, man. Bernard, what are you doing? I said, Coach, I can't run today. My back's locking up. Dylan said, it's cool. He's like, fuck Mike Dillon. Get your ass on the track right now. And we had already fought like we had already had a real fight earlier. So I wasn't fighting McDuffie anymore. So I went and ran, and it really pissed me off. The whole time I was running, I was pissed off. I was like, I'm going to get my get back today. This is the last fucking day. They tell me what to do without knowing my opinion on the situation. I ran the 4 400s. I went back into the what's name. I got dressed and I wrote a letter and put it in my locker. I said, if you guys if you ignore me, then I'll ignore you. And this was like the third or fourth day of 2 days. I went missing for the next 2 days. Coach Golf, they called my mother, my girlfriend, my high school girlfriend, my college girlfriend. They called everybody. They called everybody that they thought knew where I was. I was at Kevin Fix's house over on Prince Avenue on the other side of town from school. I was there hitting golf balls off his back porch for 2 days. When I finally came back to the Westmere building, I came in the back door. I snuck up the back steps to Coach Golf's office. Nobody knew where I was for 2 days. The APB out on me. Coach Golf comes in and he sees me sitting there. I promise you, all the stuff on this table, he knocked all of this shit off the table. Who the fuck do you think you are, missing practice or whatever? I just sat there and took it because there's really nothing he could do about it at that point. But that's my story. Shout out to Coach Golf. Coach Golf, Coach McDuffie, and Mike Dillon.
This one actually involves one of the guys that you know, Jeff Rapp. You met before. So this was 2011 season opener. We're getting ready to play Boise State in Atlanta. So the team's busing there. So really the first two strings went there, I believe, like the night before the game, stayed in an Atlanta hotel. The other guys that were dressing out met up the morning of the game and were taking a bus to Atlanta. And as I'm on the ride to meet the bus, I see a teammate of ours, Dexter Morant, just flying down College Station, probably going 100 miles an hour away from the bus. And we get there, and when GA is checking people in, and he's like, where did Dexter go? Did he leave something important behind? And one of our other teammates is like, no, he just said he didn't feel like playing today. And so he just decided he wanted to skip a football game. And then on the flip side of that, I see Jeff Rapp, who was a walk-on that had made the team about a week before then. And an equipment manager's like, I'm sorry, we don't have a jersey for you today. We didn't get one in time. And then finally, one of the other guys was like, well, one just freed up. It's Dexter's. And somehow this is the only game in Georgia history where all of our jerseys said Georgia on the back and not our last names. And so it ended up working out. So hold up yours. That's what our jerseys look like. Yeah, and they just said the word Georgia on the back and not our last name. So all's well that ends well.
That's awesome. Guys, I love these guys when they tell these stories. We've had a lot of story time. Go like and subscribe our YouTube channel. And right now, it's on Facebook. So, guys, if y'all missed this signing, you missed a big signing. This was really good. It's 3:34. I'm going to try to keep them here. If you miss out, you miss out. Go Dogs. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all are family now. Every time somebody comes to JNW Sports, you become family. Just always be a part of us. And thank y'all. And we're off here. Go Dogs. Go Dogs.